What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy Chrief Prescott. It's good to be back. Myself and the team, we finally got ourselves a new location, and we're going to be doing the same things that we used to do before. But before I go forward with everything I want to talk about in this brief but informative video, I want to apologize to our followers, our fans, our subscribers for the all of a sudden hiatus we went on. Well, we had to change locations. Our contract was up, and they were selling the location. So here we are. That's why we are where we are today. But I could have had a little more tact and told you guys what was going on. But sometimes, things happen. I dropped the ball. I apologize to you guys, and I hope we can pick up where we left off. Also, I would like to point out, as you guys know, I just published my first book, Scattered. You can find it on lulu.com. Again, that's my first book, Scattered. You can find it on lulu.com. Go to lulu.com, type in CHRIEFPRESCOTT, and you can find me. I will love your support. Sorry I don't have a book in hand, but they're kind of packed away somewhere, so here we are. Sucks on my part again. I do apologize. Also, Carbon Ether Podcast is it's an informative podcast. I'm a reader. I like reading. As you can see, I have The Fire Next Time by James Baldwin right here with myself. I'm a melanated man, so I love melanated history. I love sharing melanated history, and I shall until I leave this earth. And right here you can see by William Cooper, I have Behold the Pale Horse. And for further references about books, I also have Somebody's Been Lying by Rashad Poet. This book here. They're all great reads. I haven't read every single book in its entirety, but I do read the books as I get a chance. I read for a while before I move on to the next book. So with that being said, understand Carbon Ether Podcast may not be for everybody. I'm going to talk about racism. I'm going to talk about sexism. I'm going to talk about discrimination. I'm going to talk about politics. All the things that some people like to shy away from. Now, when I'm talking about whiteness, I'm not talking about whiteness as in the physical person. I'm talking about the social, political construct. Again, when I talk about whiteness, I'm not talking about whiteness as in the physical people. I'm talking about the social, political construct, which has been damaging to not only just us so-called black people, but also to you so-called white people. But once you learn the history, it makes more sense to you. So if you do decide to just come find us on YouTube, or wherever we may be, every other platform, and you decide to watch, know that I'm not trying to be ugly. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. None of that. I'm reading from history. I don't do rhetoric. I don't do opinions because opinions don't matter. I don't do filibustering because filibustering don't matter. I don't do dogma because dogma don't matter. And I don't do self-ideology because it does not matter. I do perspectives. As my book Scattered, I call perspective fiction. I take real life situations that I understand or real life history, and I put it into like a fictional way so it makes for a better read instead of just sharing history that's already been shared. I put it in like a scenario situation, like what if it was like this when this thing happened. So again, I'm gonna talk about religion. No, I'm sorry. Religion too, yes. Racism, bigotry, prejudice, discrimination, all those things. That's what Carbon Ether Podcast is about. It's how it was founded. We came together with this podcast and we created Carbon Ether Podcast simply from the whole idea that in 2024, 2025, we're burning books, we're banning books, things that happen in authoritarian regimes. That's not what we're supposed to be if we are a democracy. So for those of you who think that I'm prejudiced, which I could never be because you don't understand the term racist, which I could never be. I can be prejudiced, and I am at times. I don't like mayonnaise. That's a prejudice. But for those of you who think that I'm a racist, I can never be a racist. I don't have the tools to be one, for starters. For two, I have biracial children. That's mine. Biracial grandchildren. That's mine. Nieces, nephews, white sister-in-laws, formerly a white brother-in-law, family members that's mixed, that's married to white people, Latino, Asian. You know, my family is a melting pot. So miss me with that. And please don't FAFO. I am that guy. But with that being said, thank you for your time. It's good to be back. And I hope we'll be hitting you guys with a new episode, hopefully within the next 2 weeks at the most. But you will have something by week number 3 after release of this. I thank you for your time. Catch you later.